Peace. What's good, family? Yep. I'm back. We're going to get into it. Let's go. Shout out my B1 family in the house. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths. We just gonna tell the truth. We're gonna tell the truth. What's good? Make sure you click that like button. Click that like button immediately. Click that share button. Yeah, I know they talking crazy. Nobody's hiding from nobody. As you see, I ain't done no shows in a little minute. I've been on the road, man. I'm tired. But we here now. We're going to confront this head on. And it goes a little something like this. Peace, y'all. Welcome back to the Godcast. My name is Lord Jamar. Shout out Digger, Godfrey, Artie Stacks. I said I'm going to take this one by myself today. I'm going to take this one on my own. I went on Twitter and seen them talking shit. Oh, why you being so quiet, Lord Jamar? Why you being so quiet about this? Listen, first of all, you act like I'm just online knowing every goddamn thing that everybody says. I'm not, and I don't. First off, thank you, OG Buster. He said, no one is saying they did. Okay, we're going to get there. He said, no one's saying they didn't contribute, but there's a huge difference between contribution and creation. That is a fact, OG Buster. Let's clap that up. Thank you, OG Buster 07. I concur with that, but we're going to get into it more. Nick's 33. Thank you, Nick's 33. He said, peace to the gods and earths. God body for life. Indeed, God, indeed. Okay. As we building on this understanding knowledge day, all being born to culture freedom. Okay. I'm about to make you understand the knowledge that I have about this culture that we call hip hop. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Like I said, make sure you click that like button. Click the share button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell and click all so that you know whenever we drop something new. All right, so yeah, I was getting hit up. Yo, Lord Jamal, did you hear what Fat Joe said? Did you hear what Busta Rhymes said? No, I didn't. Like, what'd they say? You know? And I proceeded to, receive clips, receive paraphrasings, all kinds of stuff I received. First of all, I want to say, man, those is my brothers. You know, I love Fat Joe. I love Buster. At the same time, I gotta make knowledge born. I gotta tell the truth as I know it. But let's bring it back to the top first. So this whole controversy, who started hip hop, what was the real influences? Was it the foundational Black Americans? Was it the West Indians? You know, they keep citing Kool Herc as being the West Indian influence of the creation of hip hop. Then they're saying Puerto Ricans, 50%, and all of this type of stuff. And just a lot of things are being said. First of all, I just want to say for the record, I think it's very unfortunate that we're even getting sidetracked with all of this shit right now. You know, it's almost like somebody's putting that divide and conquer energy just amongst us. There's this real divide and conquer energy. And it's weird because I feel like as a person, you know, I guess this is almost how I guess mulattoes would feel. You know, it's like your allegiances, you feel torn sometimes, depending on what your background is. And I'm gonna get into that. But the truth is the truth, man. And we got to get into it. So real quick, before I get into this, let me get into my personal background, because there's a lot of things swirling around about me in concern with FBA and all of this fucking shit. People think they know who I am and what my background is and all that. So just let me give you a little bit about my background. And let me just say first, before we even dig into this deeper, who wasn't there at the beginning of hip hop to contribute as an MC, DJ, and you know, break dancer and all that was white people. So let's get that right out the way right now. They wasn't there. They came in a little bit later, but they wasn't there at its inception. We can all agree upon that. And this is why my whole house of hip hop and all of that shit that I was putting y'all on to years ago, that's where that comes from. Okay, but let me just get into my background. First of all, you know, a lot of people saying, Lord Jamar, you're Caribbean. You can't even comment on certain shit. Whoa. Now, I told you that my people's from Guyana, but that's my great grandfather came from Guyana. My grandfather, my father, everybody I know in my family is from here. Now, that's on my father's side. My mother's side would be considered foundational Black Americans. And now that's something, a whole nother conversation is how do families like that who are blended with foundational Black American families and Caribbean families, do they deserve some sort, any part of reparation, like some sort of half of their family? I don't know. It gets very technical. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. I say this to say my family have grown up as foundational Black Americans. Okay, whether my great great grandfather was from Guyana, nobody in my family spoke with an accent. Nobody, we ain't had no Guyanese recipes passed down or no shit like that. Like, I was eating everything that Black people here in America eat. When Roots came out, I was fucking angry and went to school. We was ready to wild out on the white boys just like anybody else. I didn't necessarily find out about my Guyanese connection till I was grown. Okay. But I did grow up around, you know, there's a lot of Jamaicans and shit in Rochelle and shit like that. So I had a lot of Jamaican friends and shit like that too. That's where, you know, the mastery of dealing with the accent and shit would come from, but definitely not from people in my house. So to try to paint me as some Caribbean outsider, it's just wrong. Like, it's just wrong. I hate the fact that my fucking video is slower than my audio. I don't know why this should be doing this, but it is what it is. So anyway, I just want to tell you that to let you know that you know, I have the right to speak on these things. I've seen hip hop from its inception. Hey, Miss Ravioli, how you doing? I've dealt with, and a lot of the founding fathers of hip hop are people that I can say are friends of mine. So I believe I am somewhat of an expert on this subject. And I just remember the times. Do you remember the time? Yes, I remember the times. So let's get into them. Now, let's start with this whole Jamaican thing that a lot of people say. Big up to the Jamaicans and all of that. But you know, upon building with a lot of the elders, especially, you can go on my channel and see a interview that I did with Grand Mixer DXT. Okay, go check the interview that I did with Grandmaster DXT. This was, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, maybe. Where basically he's saying he doesn't really understand why everybody is necessarily giving credit to what Herc was doing in the Bronx as the origination of hip hop. That there were many different DJs from all over Brooklyn, Grandmaster Flowers. There were people in Westchester, Queens. Like, hip hop was something that, and now, and when I say hip hop, I mean 2 turntables playing break beats and you know, the music of the day and all of that, and bringing your set outside and all of that type of shit. Like, I think Herc, and I love Herc, like Herc is my man and all of that. But, you know, I think Herc has benefited from marketing almost. And a lot of people, yeah, Grandmaster Flowers was in the clubs. Yes, he was a club DJ. He also did outside shit too. But he was doing the same type of thing, 2 turntables and all of that. Like the whole thing about the Jamaican sound system, where they say that we you know, that was the influence. Like he might have had bigger speakers than a lot of people and all of that, but you know, he wasn't the only one with the sound system at the time. That's what I'm saying. Like, thank you, Charles Briggs. He said, foundational Black Americans are the sole creators of hip hop. No other group, especially Latinos, had a hand in creating it. Puerto Ricans used to call it jungle music in the early days of hip hop. All right, now, thank you, Charles Briggs. Quickly, let's address what Charles is saying here. Now, I know for a fact that Puerto Ricans were there in the beginning of hip hop. They were there. They were there as DJs. They were there as MCs. They were there as breakdancers. What they were not there as was any kind of 50%, and this is all due respect, but we got to tell the truth. It was not 50%. Yes, a lot of Puerto Ricans did not fuck with Black people, did not fuck with Black music. It was only certain pioneering Puerto Ricans, male and female, that fucked with Black people and Black music. If I had to give it a percentage, 10%, I'd say, maybe 10%, maybe more like 8. I don't know, but it definitely wasn't 50%. I mean, let's keep it real. I remember back in the days, you know, the Puerto Ricans would call us the Morenos and the Cocolos. That wasn't a complimentary word for Black people. Thank you, Charles Briggs. That wasn't a complimentary word for us. That was basically niggas in Puerto Rican. Oh, you're Moreno. Like I used to like Puerto Rican girls and all of that. So now you'd be like, oh, but you can't come to my house. My mother, she gonna bug out. You know, she doesn't like, you know what I mean? Like, let's keep it real. A lot of Puerto Ricans were prejudiced against Black people, but you did have pockets, you know, especially since in the hood, Puerto Ricans, especially certain hoods, Puerto Ricans and Blacks were living side by side. And one of those places were in certain parts of the Bronx. Certain parts of the Bronx, what we would call FBA, and Puerto Ricans were living side by side. You'd have other parts of the Bronx where FBA and Jamaicans were living side by side with each other. But let's keep it real again. Who had the most influence in these hoods? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's keep it real. It was the Black people. It was the Black people. Like that whole swag that a lot of Puerto Ricans ended up having. Yo, they ended up dressing like us, mock necks and Swedish knits and Pumas and the deep. Come on, yo. That was Black people doing that. We taught motherfuckers how to dress and all kinds of shit. Like, let's keep it a buck. I remember at a time when it wasn't even cool to be Jamaican, where Jamaicans didn't necessarily want to admit that they were Jamaican. So how is it that they had all this influence if if at some point they wasn't even manifesting themselves? I remember when it started being cool to be Jamaican and all of that type of shit. You started hearing about Shower Posse and shit like that, and you know, Yellow Man and all of that type of shit, Josie Wales, you know, when that shit started getting cool. And the first hip hop reggae record that I remember was Run DMC and Yellow Man, a song called Roots Rap Reggae. Go look it up. And it wasn't a hit. It wasn't a hit, but actually it was an effort of some FBA dudes trying to bring light to reggae inside hip hop. Let's fucking keep it real. Let's fucking keep it real. Somebody said, technically, who was the first PR rapper? I don't know who was the exact first. I just know people like Whip a Whip, Prince Ruby D, Tito. These were some of our most early rappers. I just saw something, because now there's people that's trying to act like we're saying that Puerto Ricans weren't there in the beginning. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Puerto Ricans weren't there. They definitely was there. They're even saying a guy named Joe Conzo, he had brought Tito Puente into the studio to fucking play for Sugar Hill Gang. All right. Dope. So y'all was part of that. But guess what? At the same time, we didn't know Tito Puente was on that record. For us, that would have added no value. I'm sorry. It's just true. That would have added no value to the record for all the FBA kids that was loving the Sugar Hill Gang in that moment. Having Tito Puente play congas on the fucking shit would have gave it no value. Would have been like, who's Tito Puente? Who's that? What does it matter? We want to hear shake it, don't break it. You know, you can make it. That's what the fuck we wanted to hear. That was the cool shit. That was the cool shit. Yes, and a lot of people are making a good point, like Pastor Dutchy. I would make the argument that it was the FBA who even made reggae and certain things popular, made it pop, made it mainstream. It wasn't until we said, oh, Pastor Dutchy's the shit. We like that song. That's when the shit blowed up on some international shit. But as far as it, like, you know, in Jamaica, that could have been just a regional Jamaican hit if it didn't make it outside of Jamaica. And for us here to grab a hold of it and say, nah, that shit is dope. So yes, make no mistake about it. We have always been the progenitors of what's cool, like around the world. This is why they need us to buy into a whole lot of shit, because we are the ones that influence the world. Now we can take other elements in and you know and let it have its space within our shit and not even have a problem about it. Because again, Puerto Ricans was there from the beginning. They were there from the beginning, but it wasn't a 50-50 split. Jamaicans, they would be at jams and shit like that, of course. You know what I mean? But was, you know, were Jamaicans shaping and molding everything that was going on? Some people will say, you know, Puerto Ricans brought the breakdance, and no, black people been doing that. Black people been doing that. I can show you films from the 1940s Were they down on the floor doing windmills and spinning around with their leg and all this type of shit? That predates all of that shit. Now, you please show me some footage of anybody else besides foundational Black Americans doing shit like that. You got Black people rapping back in the 40s, earlier than that. Like, forms of rap go back. Adine. You got in the 60s people like Gary Bird and come on. Last Poets and all of that type of shit. We know who these people are. Why are we playing these games? But see, what I am seeing, because I've always been one to try to bring original people together. First of all, I don't like the fact that we saying Puerto Ricans and all that. Like, within the nation of gods and earths, power rules are original people. These we see them as original people. You the same as me. So why are we even dividing ourselves with this shit? Because you got dropped off on some little island and they made y'all speak Spanish and all this type of shit. And they fucking, you know what I mean? Since the island is smaller, they can graft faster and make them lighter faster. So that's why there's a lot of light, Puerto Ricans. But there's Puerto Ricans that looks like me. There's Puerto Ricans that's darker than me. Because we know what time it is. All of this division, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, FBA. I mean, it hurts, man. I've always had Puerto Rican dudes down with my crew. You know what I mean? Shout out to my homies from Allerton Avenue, the God Ken J, Maintain. You know what I mean? Fucking Divine. Whole bunch of Power Rule brothers who know that the black man is God. Okay, let's clap that up. Who know that the black man is God and see themselves as the black man. So what are we talking about here? What's all this? You know what I mean? Where's all of this coming from? Where's it all come from? Nix33 said, Lord Jamar is a proud member of the 5% Nation as a founding member of the legendary group Brand Nubian. Brother, you definitely have a voice and you are a gatekeeper in hip hop. Wow. Well, thank you, Nix33. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some people talking about, his silence on the subject speaks volumes and all of that. No. My silence just meant I hadn't really done any shows, but my silence means I want to just take time to do the knowledge before I do the wisdom. See, y'all motherfuckers, a lot of people are so accustomed to doing the wisdom before they do the knowledge. They want to speak before they think. I was taught to do the opposite. I was taught to think before I speak. So again, everything I'm saying right now, I'm saying here with love. I'm not coming in here to be like, whoever was saying opposite of this, fuck them. No. And we're taking some of these clips. Like I saw a clip of Busta. I know damn well that had to be years ago because his fucking hair was twisted up and all of that type of shit. The God ain't had his hair like that in a minute. So maybe we need to ask the God how he feels about these things now. You know what I mean? You could take a clip of me from years ago where I might have had a view that was contrary to what my view is now and play that and be like, this is what Lord Jamar. No. That's what I thought back then. Maybe, just maybe, certain words could be clarified. I don't know. You know what I mean? I definitely would ask the God now, you know, what his outlook on is on those things. Because there were some things that were said that I feel uh, you know, were definitely taken offense to by you know, foundational Black Americans. And yeah, you know, I would hope that maybe certain things would be reconsidered, you know, because, you know, we do have culture. We've shown time and time again that here in America, the foundational Black Americans are able to create culture that no one else has been able to create. And we've done it time and time again, whether it be, you know, the blues, whether it be jazz, whether it be country, rock and roll, hip hop. Like, we keep doing it. Like, and we'll do it again if we so choose. If you fucking make us feel like, you know what, y'all can have this shit. You know what I mean? Which is basically how y'all kind of making us feel about hip hop right now. Getting us so goddamn disgusted where it's gonna be like, you know what? Y'all had this shit, man. We're gonna fuck around and create some new shit. Again. Again. So that's what the fuck we do. Grant Sadipo said, even in the South, people were rapping. Yes. 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 And rapping is different than chatting. You know, Jamaican chat. It's different. Yeah, the rhythms are different. The swag. See, that's what, and that's the word that I guess has been adopted. It's just something that the American original man has that is just admired by everyone. Let's keep it real. It's admired by everyone. And everyone wants a little piece of it. You know what I mean? Everybody wants a little piece of it. And I think that's what's making you know, people who identify as FBA upset, because it seems like everybody wants to take a little piece of the swag, but at the end of the day, they don't even want to give credit to where it came from. Like, they literally have like shows like Ancient Aliens, you know what I mean? Like, that's a show where they refuse to give credit to the Black man for all kinds of wonders that we've done across the planet. So they'd rather like just make up some shit about aliens and shit. Well, maybe aliens came down to Earth to do this shit. Like they gotta give credit to somebody else. And it just seems like that's kind of what you know, people feel like is going on now with hip hop and a whole lot of shit. So yes, it's got to stop, but at the same time, let us not buy into this whole divide and conquer technique that's going on here. I just saw my brother Black Dot talking about this the other day on hip hop. And he's like, yo, I'm disappointed in y'all how easily we are just falling for this divide and conquer shit, while, you know, the one who's making money enough to, you know, feed his children's children off of us, he's getting away scot-free. We're not even talking about white people right now and how they fucking stole the soul of this shit. We in here arguing with each other. Too soon. Thank you. He said the mistake is we are too welcoming with things we are the originators of. Other ethnicities keep outsiders on the outside of their culture. I mean, that's true. That's true. But see, in the case of especially Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans in New York, all I can say is we grew up together. We grew up side by side, you know, although the foundational Black Americans outnumbered all other groups. So we had the most influence. It says, Mumra, thank you for your donation. He said, are Latinos the first to merge two languages in rap? That's a good question. Probably. Probably. I'd take a guess that they were. If so, what's the point? Like, if so, that's cool. And I'm sure we as foundational Black Americans appreciated it. But that was only going to go so far. Why? Because most of us Black people don't speak Spanish. And so we wouldn't have been able to understand a whole bunch of stuff that was whoa. Hang on. No. Hang on. A verse just came to mind. And is this the first time that hip hop mixed a foreign language inside hip hop? Je m'appelle Mele, Adorima, Parasis, Mademoiselle, Adorima, Ses, Adorima, Sis. I don't know the rest of the shit, but hold up. Melly Mel rhymed in French. And then you also had Fab Five Freddy do a whole fucking song, Change de Beat, in French. Hold up. Let's clap it up for my fucking hip hop memory. Now, does that predate a Spanish lyric in hip hop? You know, I don't know. Let's look into that. Even still, I don't know what it proves. Because again, I'm not here to try to take anything away from Puerto Ricans in hip hop. I'm just not here to allow people to add things on that necessarily shouldn't be added on either. So that's why this whole percentage thing. And I listened to when Joe said it. I almost feel like he was speaking about, I guess he felt like a lot of Puerto Ricans were there in the Bronx. But damn, it definitely wasn't 50% participation. Like for every Puerto Rican rapper that you can name from back then, I could probably name at least 10 Black rappers. And I don't care. Oh, did you know that this one's father was Puerto Rican? Even them. Like, even if you put them into the list, I'm telling you, it's not going to equal out to 50%. Not DJs, not MCs, you know, and we're talking about the origins here. There's a interview with Grandmaster Caz, you know, and I know he did it on the channel that, you know, of he that we don't fuck with. But anyway, where he's speaking on how he was like one of the pioneers of fucking with Puerto Ricans in hip hop. And that a lot of the Puerto Ricans that he used to fuck with used to have to knock other Puerto Ricans out and shit like that for fucking with them. Oh, y'all hanging with these niggas and all this type of shit. Like, yeah. So, yeah. I remember when black people in New York used to call the Puerto Ricans the Nazis and shit. Because there was a fucking Puerto Rican gang that used to like wear these swastikas and shit. And yeah, Puerto Rican people was called Nazis by certain foundational black Americans at that time. I'm just telling you the history. This is what the fuck it was. So again, you know, I love my Puerto Rican people. I love my Jamaican people. You know, I love my Guyanese people. I love my foundational black Americans. But we got to tell the truth, man. Like we can't let emotions or what people wish things to be to become history. You know, we can't allow that. We got to let it be known. So, you know, I did the knowledge. I said, man, I think it's important that I speak on this. Yes, the guy who many people feel is like a gatekeeper and, you know, someone who brought this question up in the first goddamn place as far as who is the owner of this house that we call hip hop. Albert Jameson, thank you. He said, just tuning in, been running to your page the past couple days, waiting for you to say something about this topic. Thank you, Lord Jamar. Peace, God. Peace, Albert. Appreciate you. Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, people like him, you know, they look to people with authenticity to see how they feel about this, you know. Now there's a chance that, you know, people can get upset by what, you know, you can't please everybody, first of all. You know what I mean? You're not going to please everybody. So what I do, I just stay on the side of truth. You know what I mean? I stay on the side of God and let the chips fall where they may, you know? It is what it is, man. Like hip hop is something that we, and when I say we, I mean, first of all, again, all this whole foundational black American and all of that, like, I hear y'all, I understand why. Oh, it's just, I just don't like the division that's coming out of all of this in a quest for something that, you know, that your fucking oppressor may never even consider. May never even consider giving you. But anyway, I think we need to have more, build on more things that bring us together. At the end of the day, after saying all of this, trying to set the record straight, we now need to respect each other. Like Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, please respect what foundational black Americans are trying to say here. I don't think anyone is trying to cut y'all out of the story, because Kool Herc is definitely part of the story. He's a big part of the story. But you have a lot of people that will argue and say, no, he was not the first one, you know? And even if he was, he still was an Americanized black man. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have came up with hip hop in Jamaica. It's only from being in the Bronx and being here in America and being influenced by your surroundings that that you could even come up with something like this. That you could even come up with something like hip hop. It could only have happened here. I just want to say also, Black Americans, just Americans, period, had mad influence in Jamaica and Jamaican music. Think about all the Western and Western style music that they used to do back in the 50s and all of that. Think about all the dub plates from the 70s and 80s that were nothing but just, they would just take American soul songs and redo these motherfuckers. Or not even all just soul songs. They just take all kinds of American songs and redo them. To the point where I remember certain Jamaican DJs being like, yo, Jamaicans, you got to be more creative. Like, all you do is just remake the song. You can't just remake a song. Like, and then, you know, as time goes on, you know, you would see certain, you know, certain people making their own songs. But people like Bob Marley was, you know, that was not the standard. That wasn't like everybody could do that, you know? So again, we are the influencers of the world. Hang on. We are the influencers of the world. Black Americans. And it is what it is, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Your head not gonna explode. You still gonna live. Your accomplishments are not being taken away. Shout out to all my Power Rule brothers that have contributed to hip hop. And shit, it's not just Puerto Ricans, later on Mexicans, Cubans, you know, a lot of Latinos contributed. A lot of different races ended up contributing after the fact. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Who's this? Thank you. Sit Down with Sanchez live podcast. Is that Brother Sanchez? What's up, Brother Sanchez? He said, don't be disappointed at the people. Be disappointed at Buster and Fat Joe. The people are responding accordingly, being that our culture has vultures. Okay, Brother Sanchez. You know we got love for Brother Sanchez over here. And y'all need to check out the Sit Down with Sanchez live podcast. That is our brother here at the Godcast channel. I mean, I won't lie. I was disappointed when I heard, especially some of the things that my brother Buster was saying. I'm not going to lie. Yes, I was disappointed. I don't know the context of why it was being said and all of that. And I'd love to get that from my brother. Matter of fact, brother, if you see this, if you can give me a text or a call, I'd appreciate it. I've tried to hit you up a few times and I haven't gotten a response. But yeah, was right is right, y'all. Was right is right. Hang on. Somebody, Triple Agent said, with all due respect, whites aren't the ones trying to steal credit for our creation right now. Oh no, they've been tried to do that. They've been tried to do that. I just put a fucking kibosh on that shit a long time ago. But they've been tried to do that, with all due respect. Yeah. They tried to king themselves and all kind of shit. And yeah, I was only one of the only ones that, well, really the only one that I could see that really stood up and said, I beg your pardon, sir. No, the fuck you don't. Oh, Fat Fry Freddy is Haitian. Okay. Still one of the early French hip hop songs. That's what we were speaking on. I'm trying to see who's this up here. Charles Briggs said, us foundational Black Americans did not create the division. 80% of Hispanics classify themselves as white. And also, a lot of Black immigrants from the diaspora have extreme hatred towards us and go out of their way to separate. You're not telling no lies. You're not telling no lies. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Thank you, Charles. I told. Yo. All right. I think I'm back. Let me just make sure. Hold on. No. All right. Yeah, there definitely was a lot of prejudice back in the days and still to this day. Somebody said Pig Meat Martin wasn't rap slash hip hop in 1968. Of course it was. Yes, it was. Those were some of the early beginnings of rap. You can go back to the 40s, you find FBA brothers doing a form of what can later be called rap or hip hop. So yeah, I understand. At the same time, like what are we doing here? Like okay, we can establish these truths. Now what? Now what? Now what do we do? Are we gonna divvy up some sort of hip hop inheritance or some shit? Like how we know that a lot of people come in and try to take credit for all kinds of shit that we did and that we do. Um, we as Black people need to stop always being so inviting with everything. Um, but that being said, like, oh man. We need to come together with each other, original people across the planet. Because that's the way that we outnumber this minority. Is when we come together, all of us, across what they call the diaspora. But if we get into all of these, well, he don't like me, and they don't like. Why they don't like each other? Why would 80% of Puerto Ricans classify themselves as white? Why would they do that? Obviously, brainwashing. Obviously, they've been miseducated. Obviously, somebody's planted the seed for us to hate on each other. So, and meanwhile, now they're scot-free. Just like the person said earlier, with all due respect, nobody's talking about the white man right now. I know. And that's the fucking problem. Nobody's talking about the white man right now. We talking about beefing with each other. Kill Bill said Jamaicans never created hip hop, but they contributed heavy in hip hop. 2 turntables and a mic was a Jamaican influence. No more divide. Peace, Jamar. No, that's not true. See, the 2 turntables and a mic was not a Jamaican influence. We're saying that we were already doing that. That's what the fuck we're saying. Okay? That was not the influence. Not even sure about this whole merry-go-round shit. Come on, man. Stop it. But yes, at the same time, no more divide. Let's tell the truth without having to fucking have all this division. Okay, my brother, hang on. Trying to find the comment so I can click on it. Shit look like it's moving slow. Well, my brother, Tribes, what's it? Tribe CO, Frog Media. Oh, Tribzeco Frog Media. Okay. Tribzeco Frog Media, thank you. He said, peace, God, bless up from Belize. He said, there is only one American continent. It includes the Caribbean. He likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing. What do y'all feel about that? The brother is saying the Americas, North America, South America. In North America lies the Caribbean islands. So are we all North Americans? I guess that's what the brother's saying right there. Interesting. What do y'all have to say about that in the comments? Make sure you I'm sure this is going to be a heavy comments, heavy in the comments when we post this. Iceberg J, thank you, Iceberg J. He said, show me where they did hip hop in Jamaica or Puerto Rico in the last 50 years. Do you mean before our hip hop? I think that's what you're trying to say. Because they do hip hop in Jamaica and Puerto Rico right now. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't say in the last 50 years. I think you mean to say prior to the last 50 years. Can you show us any forms of Jamaicans or Puerto Ricans doing any facets of hip hop? And I just saw, shout out to my brother Crazy Legs. It seems like he's going out of his way to try to prove that Puerto Ricans were there in the beginning. Yes, you were there. He showed somebody dancing in like 1973, a Puerto Rican guy on stage. He was dancing. He went down on the ground and like went around on his leg and all this type of shit. That I hope Crazy Legs wasn't trying to show us that as if that was the origination of that particular move, because there's definitely footage of, again, foundational Black Americans doing that same fucking move in like 1948 or some shit like that, in one of those old musicals and shit like that. So please, all these breakdance moves and all this type of shit, like, again, that shit we've been doing just as long as we've been rapping. We've been dancing and having all these ill moves, moonwalk and all. Michael Jackson didn't make up the moonwalk, nor did just niggas, or Puerto Ricans in the Bronx. Like, that shit that we've been doing here in America. Okay? So let's not get it twisted. Man, I hope this answers a lot of questions. Let's see. Six always global. Somebody says, if you love your country, why are you here in the USA? I mean, that's a good question for some people, I guess. I would also pose to people that claim they love Africa, though. If you love Africa so much, how come you don't move there? If that's the motherland and all of this other stuff, where's your plot of land over there? How come you still fucking around over here? Just curious. Because I say we native to over here. And that's why a lot of us don't want to leave. Somebody said Bob Marley was singing R&B ballads and ska music. Yep. James Brown, some of the foundational music, Black American. Like, think about the sound. You know what I mean? If the sound that we chose for hip hop was anything other than foundational Black American, it would have never worked. If we started sampling Spanish music or Jamaican music or some shit like that, like, it wouldn't have been as popular as it became. But it's because we sampled that shit that was on fire. You know what I mean? That shit that was already on fire. And everybody else wanted to fuck with it. Listen, again, I'm sad that this is even a thing. Somebody said the group, the Jubilaires were rapping in the 1940s. Thank you, Timmy Diamonds. Listen, we've been super creative for a long time. I think a lot of foundational Black Americans are tired of of just, you know, being jacked all the time, getting the credit taken away. Well, I'm here to tell you, I understand. You have the right to feel this way. Um, no lies have been told that I can hear as far as what um, the FBA argument is. And I hope I helped to set the record straight today. Um, you know, we're gonna have clips and all that, make this shit go viral. Lord Jamar said, Black people are the creators of hip hop. And he would assign approximately now I'm talking about, who was there participating in the beginning. He would assign about 10%. 10% participation in hip hop by Puerto Ricans. Maybe depending on what part of the Bronx, maybe I'll give you 20% attendance. That's about as high as I can go. Definitely that's a far cry from 50% though. But I might go 20% attendance in certain parts, depending on where you grew up at. Certain parts, it could have been zero attendance or 5% attendance, very low. But yeah. Oh, this is the God Haji. This is the God Poobah. Hang on, let me just let him know that I'm on doing the damn thing right now. Yo, God, I'm on live right now. I'll hit you right back. See. Miss Lady, thank you. She said, I'm hearing there are some Mexican neighbors in California that blacks can't to without being brutally beaten. Can't go to without being brutally beaten or killed just for being black. That's worse than sundown towns of the Jim Crow era. Yeah, that would be my first time hearing that, Miss Lady. I hope that's not true. But if it is, something needs to be done. I'm reading some of y'all in the comments. Y'all's funny. Thank you, Ilreg92. He said, we melanated have been rapping since the 50s, 60s. Look up Pigmeat Markham. Here comes the judge. And watch the live vid. He birthed the biz dance. Nah, that's some real shit, yo. That's some real shit. Yeah, stop it, y'all. You know what I mean? Just stop it. We did this. Go look up Grandmaster Flowers. I really want y'all to look up the interview I did with Graham Mixer DXT. His name used to be DST back in the days, but he changed his name to DXT. Look on my page for the interview I did with Graham Mixer DXT. And he will break down a lot of shit. I have interviews with Sha Rock. I have interviews with Grandmaster Caz. But I remember specifically Grandmaster DXT breaking down the science of how Herc was not the first one. There was other DJs from Brooklyn, from Manhattan, from Queens, from Westchester, y'all, Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, White Plains, shit like that. That was doing it. So I please invite you, go look at that to add to your arsenal of knowledge, because this is somebody that was, he was there. What are they saying? Hip hop. What are they saying? The 50th anniversary? Well, I'm about to be 54. Okay. So that means I was 4 years old when this shit started. Could I have been going to the jam? Absolutely fucking not. Right. But am I old enough to know about what the fuck was going on? Absolutely. Do I remember, by the time I'm 7, 8 years old, well, hell yeah, now I'm hearing some rumblings of hip hop and all of that type of shit. By the time I'm fucking 12, 13, I'm in it. I'm in it. DJing, all of that type of shit. So I say that to say, I know what the fuck I'm talking about here. I remember the times. I remember when it was not sweet. When a lot of Puerto Ricans didn't fuck with Morenos, Cocolos. Let's keep it real. It was the pioneering ones that had to go back to their fucking home, be like, and explain themselves at the end of the night. Just like later on, there would be, white people who started gravitating to hip hop, and they'd have to go to their circles and explain themselves. Why you fucking with this black shit? What's this all about? With this black shit. Like, it was, make no mistake about it, this was some black shit. Why are you listening to that nigga music? Is what anybody else would say at the time. Everybody had no problem with putting it on us and calling it nigga music. Now, fast forward, when billions of dollars and shit have been made from the shit, and all kinds of, people have benefited and become rich and all of that type of shit. Now, it's not that black nigga music anymore. Motherfuckers want to see how they can insert themselves, maybe try to get a deed to the land or some shit. Yeah. Now I see them pushing, these Afro beats and all this type of shit. That's cool. But it's like, it only goes because we say it goes. Like, if the foundational black Americans don't want to hear it, it's not going to fly. It's only because we like, yeah, that's cool. And they're coming with now a swag that's more Americanized. It's a little, you know what I mean? the way they're doing their shit and making the beats and all of that type of shit, it's more Americanized. Showing and proving that we're the ones with the influence. But again, I'm not saying this to try to divide us. I'm just trying to say this as just speaking the truth. That's it, man. Again, at the end of the day, I want to see all original people come together. Foundational Black Americans, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, fucking Africans, you know, all original people across this earth. We need to come together. Okay? And yes, I know, oh, they hate us and da. But we got to understand the reason. You got to understand the reason. Minds have been poisoned on many different levels. We hate us. So why shouldn't other other groups hate us? Until we stop hating ourselves, you know, can you really be mad that other groups come in hating us? No. Start loving yourself and you'll see the love spread. They even love us when they hate us, though. That's what's so ironic, is they love us even when they hate us. They hate us and still want to kind of be like us. Ain't that fucking crazy? Ain't that fucking crazy? Well, yo, I think I've touched on this as much as it needs to be touched on. There we go. Again, somebody said, Jamar, you got Caribbean people in your family. You're a tether, according to the FBI. Listen, I explained in the beginning, man. Ain't nobody in my family even have an accent, yo. That was my great grandfather who fucking came from over there. I grew up FBA, okay? Don't nobody have no Guyanese recipes in my family and all of that. Although I did find out that I do have some cousins back there. But yeah, that's something I found out when I was fucking grown. And my mom's side is FBA. So y'all can call me what you want to call me, but I know how I grew up, how I feel in my heart. And can't none of y'all motherfuckers change that with whatever the fuck you feel like you want to say about me. So yeah, man. I thank everybody who came through. Everybody who, oh shit, we got like 900 people in here. I didn't even realize that. Listen, make sure y'all click that like button. I appreciate it. Make sure you share this. The God has spoken. It is what it is. You can agree with me or you can get upset. It's your choice. Like I said, I stand by truth, and the truth will set you free. I want to say peace to the gods, peace to the earths. Shout out to all my B1 people. Shout out to everybody that donated in the chat. I will be back very soon with our regularly scheduled programs, you know, as far as talking about current events and all that type of shit. But today I wanted to have just a special, a special report. We interrupt this bulletin to bring you a special report. Yeah, so I had to bring you the special report. Just me by myself. With no interruptions or any other kind of interjections. So, yes, this is how I see it. And listen, I got love, man. I got love for all of y'all. You know what I mean? I got love for all of y'all, even the brainwashed ones, even the ones that need understanding. You know, this is why our work is not done. You know, who do you think the 85% are? The 85% are the ones that don't know. You know what I mean? So you got to make knowledge born. And this is what we're doing by telling the truth. When you tell the truth, you making knowledge born. You letting that light of the sun shine. All right. Shout out to Artie Stacks. He just said good show. He just texted me good show. Enjoy your time out in Miami, sir. I see you. So yeah, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. Much love. If you'd like to donate to the show, go on the Cash App. And yeah, $, you're not a mean. We appreciate that. Once again, for the Godcast, I am Lord Jamar. I thank you, as always, for coming through. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell and click all so you will be notified when we drop a next one. Until next time, peace.